we're out here and we want to do a test to test mass versus velocity. I already have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen, but I just want to show you on camera. So right now in the gun we've got a 100 grain aluminum bullet that out of the rifle is going 3,000 feet per second. Obviously it's quite a bit slower out of the pistol, but it's still going to go a lot faster than our second bullet, which is only going about 800 feet per second out of the rifle, also going slower out of the pistol. So let's see what happens out of the pistol with a 100 grain bullet going really fast.
Hang on to that thing.
Alright, so bullet was going really fast, over 2,000 feet per second even out of this pistol, but it only weighed 100 grains, and we got one milk jug, two milk jugs, and it did not touch the third milk jug. So it's going really fast, but it was too light to maintain its energy and keep going. Okay guys, so saw what it did with a 100 grain bullet. Now we've got a 550 grain bullet going around 800 feet per second, so way slower. Let's see how it does penetration wise. Alright, so let's take a look at how that heavier bullet did. Got a nice puddle here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then just right on the side there. Went through all the bottles we had, and that bullet was only going about 800 feet per second versus the aluminum one that was 100 grains going over 2,000 feet per second. So you can see the difference there, that mass is going to keep going because when it hits the target, even though it gets there slower, it can maintain more of its energy as it drives through the target, and it loses velocity slower once it's in the target than a lighter bullet does. Once a lighter bullet hits the target, it starts to lose velocity really fast, so it slows down really quickly, and that's why it doesn't penetrate as much as a heavier bullet. Let's see if we can hit this little bunny rabbit, and let's see what kind of force these bullets can transfer. First we're going to do the 100 grain bullet, and then we're going to do the 550 grain bullet and see the difference. I guess we're going to start with the 550 grain bullet. Me neither. There we go. Alright, so now we've got the light bullet. Let's see if I can hit it on the first try. It's really hard to hit because we've got a rail on here, so we can't see our front sight yet. But let's see what it does to that.
Okay.
I don't know if I hit it. Alright, let's try that again. I think I just skimmed it. Alright, that time we got it.
Oh, you got it.
Alright guys, so this is our last test for mass versus velocity. We're going to start with our 550 grain bullet. We're going to see how much it can move our 10-inch target, 10-inch diameter steel target, which is 3/8 of an inch thick, and then we'll shoot our 100 grain bullet at it. If I can hit it. This is 550 grains. how much energy that transferred to it. Now let's shoot it with a 100-grain bullet and see what happens. All right, guys, so I thought I was out of bullets, but I had one in my pocket, and I'm gonna shoot it out of the rifle so I make sure I hit the target, because I want you to see how much energy it transfers to that target compared to the heavy bullet. There you go. 100 grain versus 550. So to summarize the difference between mass versus velocity, faster your bullet's going, the less bullet drop you're going to have. So you want a faster bullet if you're going to be stretching the range that you're shooting at. But the heavier your bullet is, the more it's going to penetrate. So for things like dangerous game or bears or stuff like that, you want to have a heavier bullet, because even though it's going slower, once it hits the target, it's going to keep going, and it's going to do as much damage inside of that target as possible before it stops. So it's up to you what you want to choose. If you're going to be shooting long range, choose a lighter, faster bullet. If you're going to be shooting something more close up or more dangerous, choose a heavier, slower bullet.